Hey guys, Nicole here with Obscure Reptiles and Caging, and today we've got even more ball python eggs hatching. So let's get started. Hey guys, so in our last video I showed you what I thought was a dual sire clutch. But once everything came out, it turns out that it was not a dual sire clutch, unfortunately. A couple of them looked like they were Mojave Pieds at first, but then once they actually came out, they were not. But this one for sure is a dual-sided clutch, so I apologize. But this one has some really sweet combos. Super excited to show you guys. And for anyone out there who's really good at identifying ball pythons, please shoot me a message. The male was sold to me as a pastel pinstripe Enchi Pied. I'll put a picture of him here. And I've talked to a few breeders, and they say he definitely looks more than a pastel pinstripe, which I agree with. But so far, there are 16 babies, and I don't see Enchi in any of these. A few people have, but most of them have not seen Enchi in any of these babies. So if you're good at identifying, shoot me a message. I would love to be able to send you some photos of babies. But this clutch, the dual sire actually looks like only one of the babies is from one dad, and all the rest are from the other father. So I'm going to show you guys, like last time. I'm going to try to get a good angle. Today's actually cleaning and feeding day, so everything's a little bit crazy. I'll try to show you guys them up here. So let me just get a bin full of water. Okay, so I'm going to go through this every time just for people who are new or people who don't see our videos. I'm going to explain what I'm doing, and what I like to do is, you always want to keep your ball pythons in totally separate enclosures, containers, but before they shed is the only time you can really get away with having multiple snakes in a cage. Once they shed, they have to be separated. So what I like to do to make it a little bit easier, put a blue and a pink, so I can tell the genders. I normally tell the genders right out of the egg. For me, that's just easier. I'm very gentle with it. You have to be very careful. And I have this little container of water because I like to rinse them off. In the last video we did, I showed you guys the snakes had perlite instead of vermiculite, and it's white instead of this. You're going to see it all over these babies in a second. But you can see all these little dots. This is actually vermiculite. I like this because when you take a little water dish like this and you set the little baby in there, they swim around and all the vermiculite comes right off, and it's super easy. But with perlite, it floats, so it actually makes it pretty difficult to clean off the babies. Just one of the many reasons why I am not a fan of the perlite. But this first one right here, to me, looks like just a normal pied. I'm going to go down, make it a little easier for you guys to see. Beautiful, beautiful pied. A lot of these are actually pretty high white, except for the multi-gene ones. And we're going to check everyone's gender. So we already know I'm very bad at my odds, and it's a little boy. So this little boy is going to be available. As of right now, it just looks like a normal male pied. But if you guys are interested in anything that we show you guys, we're going to have everything and keep everyone updated on our Twisted Reptiles Facebook page. But what I also like to do with these bins is I have a little spray bottle of water, and we're going to fully spray them down. I also have water in the water dishes, which I don't really need, but it also gives them a little bit of a place to hide, makes them a little comfortable. But you don't want it drenching, just a little bit. But this little guy's just swimming away. But that's the first one. And I need to grab a lid, because as we found out in the last video, they love to try to escape. Alright. I've been working all day and building cages after work, so I'm tired. So we're going to switch to this seat. So we're going to leave the baby that is from the other father to later. Let's see. This right here. I'm not going to make him stretch out too much, but this right here is actually our first ever produced emoji snake. So it's actually got, looks like 2 eyes and a mouth, and I get a very high white little baby. So, check the gender real quick. And our little emoji pied is actually a male also. So he is also going to be available. The way we do it, because the people asked in the last video, is we have actually a wait list video to show you guys. What we do is we take a deposit on the babies, and they are not ready to go until they've had their first shed, which takes 10 to 14 days, and then they have to have at least 5 meals. So if they take 5 meals back to back to back every 5 days, it doesn't take very long for them to be ready. Normally it takes a couple of weeks for them to take that first meal, and if they're stubborn or skip any meals, it takes a little bit longer. But we do hold with a deposit, so if you guys are interested in any of them, let us know. Let's see. Go for this one. Actually might be an Enchi pied, but I want everyone else's opinion. I think this one may be Enchi. For any of you guys who've watched my videos, I do quite a bit of work with Bob Vu. He's actually the one who donated the Super Enchi 100% Het Desert Ghost we did for our giveaway. So I'm actually going to send this picture to him and see what he has to say. Maybe he'll respond while we're still recording. A lot of darks, a lot of lights. We have another boy. So 3 boys, 2 pieds, and possibly an Enchi pied. The other 2 are much higher white. But he's got some really nice darks and light oranges. Last clutch out of 8, we only got 2 females. It's just the way it goes. I don't really have the best luck, so. Alright. We've got this little one, and then we've got 3 more. And again, I think we have a normal pied, which is pretty strange, especially since the dad of at least most of these was a pastel pinstripe Enchi pied. So you think we'd get some pastels, some pinstripes, some Enchis, but most of these just became high white pieds. And drum roll. It's actually our first little girl. Okay, so we have a female pied. High white. I don't believe Enchi. Just looks like a normal pied. Beautiful high white pied though. So finally we got someone to put in the female bin. And now is where it gets interesting. You have to wait. So we have 2 that are pretty much identical. So I'm not sure if these are pastel pinstripe Enchi pieds or just really nice pinstripe pieds. I think they both have Enchi in them. And the other one has a lot more color, but they're definitely the same morph. So we went from just all pieds to hitting the all gene animal possibly. Once they shed, it's a little bit easier, but they've got the same exact head stamp. They have the same head stamp. One is very active, it's that guy. Or girl. They've got the same pattern, pretty much the same amount of white. They're definitely the same morph. So either they're both pastel pinstripe pieds or they're both pastel pinstripe Enchi pieds. Again, if you're really good at this, please shoot me a message. I've never actually produced any Enchis, and with them being in pied, I'm having a very difficult time, you know, telling what they are. So let's check the genders. I'll do Mr. or Mrs. Active first. We have a little boy, the super active one. is going to be available. Okay, and so the really cute thing, when you put them in water, it's kind of like they think they're in their egg and they completely submerge and hold their breath. And they just completely relax. A lot of times if you have some really crazy babies and you put them in some water, then they tend to calm down quite a bit when you put them in the water. So this one's actually wonderful little dots. I'm guessing they both have enchi, but I want to get a few eyes on them before giving it 100%. This one's actually a little girl. Pastel pinstripe, maybe enchi pied. This is the one that is actually from a different father. So, just by a quick glance, you can tell it's definitely not pastel pinstripe or enchi. Now, the other male that we did use was actually a cinnamon banana pied, and he's a female maker. So, by looking, you can tell it's definitely not a pastel pinstripe enchi. And definitely looks like there's banana, and definitely looks like there's cinnamon. But the only way to really know is we check real quick, and we actually have a little female. So this is a female cinnamon banana pied. So chances are we're actually going to keep this little girl. But that is my best guess, because she's definitely not a banana, definitely not a cinnamon. We're actually hoping to make some of these. We have a cinnamon pied, and then we've got the banana cinnamon pied female maker. We're hoping to make some super cinnamon banana pieds in the future, but she hasn't gone yet. She doesn't really look like she's going to go. So this, as of right now, is the only one confirmed to be from that other father. Everyone else seems to be from that pastel pinstripe enchi pied. But you can have dual sire clutches. You can have two fathers. It just so happens that this one had mostly babies from that pastel pinstripe enchi. But thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're interested in anything, just shoot us a message. You can go on our Twisted Reptiles Facebook page. You can also message us on our website, Twisted Reptiles. And once all these babies are up, feeding, shed, and they're completely ready to go, that's when we actually post them on Morph Market. We do our wait list, and we do let people do deposits if they message us through Twisted Reptiles beforehand. But if no one reaches out for something specific and it's actually ready to go, so for example in 6 to 8 weeks, then they'll actually be posted on our Morph Market. But that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We make a few videos every single week. So I'll see you guys in the next video.